Hey guys, Bujin here. I'm going to be profiling my Bujin deck for you guys for the format. I really enjoy this deck. This is pretty much the competitive deck I've been messing around with because I love this archetype, and I feel like it's still pretty good, especially in today's current meta. All the floodgates that you can play. I kind of found a card that substitutes for Kaiser in a way, the best way that it can. And so far, it's got a great matchup against Thunder Dragons. It's not too hard to play against Sky Striker for me so far. Been playtesting against my friend. So overall, it's got a pretty good matchup against Guru Control. It's grind games really well. It wants to play a slow game, so that's good. So yeah, I think the only hard matchup I had was against a Gravekeeper player online, and most people don't play that anyways. So if somebody does, you can also side for that match. But anyways, here's profile. 3 Yamato is your main monster. You want to sit on him. Everybody knows what he does. He'll add a Bujin from deck to hand, and you discard a card. Typically the Bujin you added. So it's kind of like Guru Control in a way. You want to sit on one monster and then just add your combo pieces over time while protecting him. Super cool. The only other beast where I run is one Mikazuchi. I feel like running more than one will clog because I only have 2 searches for him, but you do want that extra beast warrior target so you can still use your Bujins and Grave in case they get through all your Yamatos. That's it for the Beast Warriors. Not a traditional list. You'll see why, though. 2 Hare, 2 Turtle. I'm starting to realize that Turtle is better than Hare because a lot of things target. But I'm still running the 2 for now and while I'm testing. But because I know that, like, Kaiju Slumber, you can run a lot of that now. And, you know, Dark Hole Geki's still around. But other than that, a lot of things target, too. So I'll typically send him first because most of the time you're not going to have to worry about battle, some of the other cards I run, but like I said, just testing. So the 4 normally there. Then I run 2 Senyo because I am running him because it's better than Crane in the build I'm currently running, and you guys will see why in just a minute. So I do have 2 of him, and he kind of comes up for Honest because I'm not running Honest. 1 Quillen for the last Bujin Beast that works in Grave, just to pop floodgates or monsters. It's just you're out to certain cards, because it just says 1 card in the field. It can be a set card. Or, actually, 1 face-up card. Sorry, guys. But you can still pop a monster, pop a floodgate. It's great. And Senyo is basically Honest and Grave, but the damage they take is halved, and I believe it's only until the end of the battle phase. Yeah, until the end of the damage step. So it's like Crane and Honest mix. It's not as good, but for the way I built my deck, it is. And then I'm playing 2 Crane, just because it's still nice to have if you draw into it or if you search it off of your Yamato. It's just another way to protect them. I thought about running 1 Honest instead of 2 Cranes. I just figured Honest isn't searchable and this is, so I feel like it's better. Alright, that's it for the monsters, guys. That's 13. On to the spells, the consistency of the deck. You play 3 tanky. You have 4 targets. You basically want to open Yamato. It's 6 copies of Yamato. It gives them a 100 attack buff, which is sweet. But want to open this. 2 Carnation. You can search it off of Mikazuchi. If your opponent controls a monster, you control none. You can special summon a Bujin from Banish and your Grave. So you can refill your Banish Bujins that you've used back in the Grave, and it's like a comeback play. And also, this restricts you from Exceed summoning, except if it's a Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, but it doesn't say anything about Link summoning, so you can Link summon to whatever you want off of this, which is really cool. Next reason why I don't run a lot is Card Demise. I feel like this card synergizes great with this deck because all of these you want in the Grave. So that's why I run the Senyos instead of the Honest, because if he ends up getting dumped by Demise's effect, I can still use him, which is sweet. So even if you draw a whole hand of monsters and you get him in Grave, you want him in Grave, which is awesome. 3 Duality, because you really don't special summon besides Carnation. And 2 Desires, because you run 3 of almost everything you need, and you run 6 copies of Yamato, so your likelihood of banishing all your copies of Yamato before you get one is very low. The extra deck is kind of important in this deck, so I don't play the new pot card, but you can test it out too, because this deck doesn't have to have the extra deck. I just like to use mine. But that's it for the spells. Literally all consistency. That's it, besides the Carnation. Yeah, everything in this deck I like to run. It's like searchable or it gains long-standing advantage. I run the full package of Solemn, 3 Strike, 1 Warning, and 1 Judgment. Just great cards. They'll just stop things from the board so you won't have to worry about them. Stop monster effects, even like hand traps with Strike. It's really great. So you want to play those. 3 Heavy Storm Duster, I'm maxing out because if you do play against a deck that this is good against, it's really good and you're going to draw into it. If not, it's only 3 cards out of your deck, and when you go into game 2, you can side it out. So, but great against Sky Strikers, great against Guru. Against Thunder Dragons, it's not the best, but if you play against any kind of like if you do Altergeist, like that's another grind game, and you want a grind game too, so it's a pretty good matchup. You can just pop everything they got. And you activate it during your opponent's turn or on their end phase, so that battle phase restriction doesn't really bother you. Yeah, you run 3 of that. And then my Floodgates. This is my Pseudo Kyber Coliseum, 3 summon limit. So this restricts your opponent to where they can't summon more than twice per turn, and it counts any summons that are negated, so off your Solemns. Special summoning, normal summoning, it counts all that flip summoning. So really, it makes it so your opponent can't just barf out an entire board on you while you only control 1 Yamato. They're only going to get 2 summons off that turn, which means they can't out summon you or out advantage you as much. So it slows down the game to the speed that you want it to be playing Bujins, which is really cool, and it works great against a lot of decks right now. Because in this deck, you're going to want to summon 1, which is your motto, and just pass. It doesn't really hurt you. And the other one I run is 3, there can only be 1. Because you can only control 1 Yamato anyways, and most of your beasts you never want to summon, so this card literally does nothing to you, but it hurts a whole bunch of decks. Which is great and makes it sometimes where they only have 1 monster on board, so then it's like Kaiser 2, it's just 1v1 versus your Yamato, and usually your Yamato is going to win. So yeah, that is it for the main deck, guys. It is 40 cards. We'll get on to the extra deck for you, which is 15. For my extra deck, I play 2 Susanoo. He's great. He can attack every monster your opponent controls once, and he's basically Yamato, but you don't have to wait to the end phase. You can add a Bujin from deck to hand, so your Cranes, you can dump one, your Senyos, Turtles, anything you need. So he's a really good card to run, especially to clear boards. 1 Kagetsuchi. When he's summoned, you can mill 5. For each Bujin card that was milled, he gains 100 attack, and then if he would be destroyed, you can detach 1. So if you know they have a lot of backer or things that are popping, he can protect himself. Fill your grave up. If you haven't seen a lot of your Beast Warriors, but you know they're in there, just mill them out. 1 Tsukiyomi. This card's super good if you're under Demise and you just don't have anything else you need to play something. You can play him. You can discard your hand minimum, I think it's minimum 1. Yeah, minimum 1 and then draw 2 cards. So you can get rid of your Beast Warriors in hands to draw into some Floodgates. 1 Tiger King, because it can set your tankies from deck and he's a walking skill drain. 1 Castell to shuffle problem cards or monsters. 1 Diamond Dyer, you can pop itself or any of your other Beast Warriors and then pop a card in the field. You can even save your own Bujin Yamato with a hair, which is cool. Pop Floodgates, monsters. And then 1 Omega, because he is a Beast Warrior. Because all the monsters I've shown you up until now are all Beast Warriors, Wing Beasts. You can go into all of these off of your Carnation, and he's just impervious spells and traps for that turn when you detach. So if you're going to like 5 backer and they don't have anything to stop the summon or the effect, attack straight over, which is cool. For your non-Carnation targets, we play the 1 Exciton just because he's legal. It's Exciton, you can just blow up board. And then 1 Viguska because it's a skill drain. And sometimes I can literally win you games just by stalling until you get to the pieces you need. So that's it for the rank 4s. On to the links. I play Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus because the discard doesn't really hurt you because you're either going to discard off the Demise or you can discard your Bujingi monsters, which is sweet. The only ones I run are Link 2s in this because you're really not going to have more than 2 monsters on board. You'll be lucky if you have 3. So we don't play any of the really big links, which is fine. Off of a Carnation, you can go into any of them. That's your spot removal. Your Underclock Taker, just so you can make your monster even more beefy and then activate Crane or Sinyo and do even more damage, which is sweet. 1 Firefighting Drumadal. It gains 100 for each. I believe it's Beast Warrior, Wing Beast. Yep. And then you can target a spell on either field and pop. So when you have like Tanky, it's a face-up spell. You can pop your Tanky in their cards. So he's like an out to Floodgates. And if you destroy some by battle, you can add a banished Beast Warrior, Wing Beast from your graveyard to your hand. So you can add your Beast back to your hand or anything like that gets banished. Just super cool. Kind of synergy that way. And then my last one is 1 Hip Hashiningen, if I said that right. He gives all lights plus 500, and then if he gets destroyed by battle, a card fetch Unite a Light from grave to hand. So he kind of cycles your mottos. Can make them a little bit bigger if you need to, like if you Carnation into him, and then you summon your mottos like 2300, and you can get over something with a Crane or whatever. So he's just there as another another monster. But yeah, like I said, all my links are just linked to. They're easy to get into off of a Carnation. You can go into any of them. But yeah, guys, that's it for the extra deck. That is my Bujin. I should have started off the video by saying my Bujin Demise deck, because that's basically what it is. But yeah, I wanted a way to play the deck the way it was before, to where it brings other decks down to its level of speed. I'm not playing Ties River where I'm trying to search for like 1 or 2 cards to make plays. And there's so many floodgates work well with the deck that Demise allows you to play that and stay in the game. And it helps you use your beasts a lot faster than just dumping them off Yamato. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the profile. Hope you like the deck. I hope you guys try it out. Tell me what you think. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. I bet there's more cards that I could run. Like, people are going to say Rivalry goes, and probably just Rivalry, which is something I've thought about. I might test it and try it, because you can only have one type. But I do have there can only be one in the deck. So that works. I guess the only plus for running Rivalry would be if I sided it, and then sided out there can only be ones for Rivalry for certain matchups. So that'd be the only thing I can think, is to get 3 Rivalry to side. But other than that, I'll see you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.